Hi, Frank Spillers here, founder of Experience Dynamics, and it's time for this week's UX Power Up. In today's UX Power Up, I'd like to talk about design studios. So design studios are not places where you go to design, in a studio, a UX studio or something. They're actually just a term that's come from lean UX, which is an efficiency kind of methodology and approach to developing better user experiences. And the design studio is it's basically a collaborative workshop. And what we do in design studios is we do a collaborative workshop with stakeholders. And so you might include developers, designers, you might even include directors, marketing directors, and in smaller companies, maybe much more senior management type roles. So it's kind of an all hands on, and it's a chance for everyone to bring their ideas in a non-judgmental kind of space and collaborate and kind of flesh out and play with ideas. And what happens in these workshops is they follow the format of sprints. So you do a very rapid kind of iteration, lasting 8 to 10 minutes, lasting another, then another 15 to 20 minutes. And what it is kind of like allows you to brainstorm and sketch out. So it kind of includes rapid prototyping and sketching, and teams are just poring over ideas of content or layout or wireframes of all sizes and shapes. And then those are refined and refined and refined again. So these are group workshops, collaborative. They're open sessions. There's no right or wrong answers. Hopefully they've been informed by some user research. We always like to bring personas, actual user research artifacts into our design studios so that teams can be armed with actual real tasks as opposed to riffing or blue skying, and not having something grounded to work with. One of the downsides to design studios, if you do them internally, like in our example, we're an outside user experience consulting firm, so we work with clients as a team. But if you're doing them internally as part of your process, one of the downsides that you have to watch out for is that you can come up with a bunch of ideas, but then who owns them and how do you take them to the next level? One of my clients recently that we did some UX training with, we then showed them how to do design studios, and they did them themselves, and they said, it was all fine and good, but because they didn't have a defined UX team, they weren't sure kind of who to listen to. They weren't sure who owned the idea and which idea was a better idea. And so this is an issue that really relates to having a strong culture of UX, having defined roles, having someone who can weigh in, preferably a usability engineer or UX designer, UX architect on your team who can actually own the deliverable, who can actually leverage usability best practices and user advocacy to say, oh, this is a good direction. Let's take it, or let's test this idea. And so that's one of the weaknesses that we've noticed with a design studio. But they can be really effective to be collaborative tools to bring people together. They satisfy the designer itch, that everyone has. Everyone wants to be a designer, and so that's a good plus, to help everyone kind of get their thoughts out on paper. No right or wrong answers. We use kind of little mini whiteboards that users can draw on, which are a really fun kind of tool that everyone likes. So design studio is definitely becoming more and more of that rapid, lean UX approach. Also part of a design thinking approach. If you're using design thinking as a way to quickly ideate and flesh out your ideas, you can definitely use your design studios in your workshop sessions there too. So I encourage you to try a design studio and see how it works for you. And would love for you to report back or maybe comment below if you've already experienced a design studio. Love to hear your experience. Thanks again and happy UXing.